So today's video looks at PhantomBuster's auto follow module, and it looks at how to automate the initiations of that phantom and how to track the effectiveness of it. So if you want to run lots of phantoms for different pages, etc., like you can set it up manually, but it can be quite tricky to keep an eye on what's running, the settings behind them, etc., without clicking into them. But you can automate it by just running one. So I have ran one that's powered from make.com and a Google Sheet, and it's this one here, which you'll see it's off. Okay, it's off, but it's manually initiated. So I use Make to launch it. So what happens here is there's a Google Sheet that's where there's inputs. So you'll see here's the Google Sheet that it's looking for. It's called Coach Andy Launch Requests. So you'll see here, it looks at the various pages and a follow count request. So what this is doing is saying, this is the page I want the phantom to run on, and here's how many people you would like to follow. On make.com, you control how often it launches on make.com. So if I dive into this in make.com, the first module that I use here is the watch new rows module. So I'm saying, okay, watch new rows on this sheet here, the Coach and the Launch Requests tab. Run one at a time. So that means it takes one row of data. And then here's the initiations to the phantom. So my cookie ID is taken directly from PhantomBuster. So it's taken from the setup, right? So the setup, when you set a phantom up, you have a cookie ID that it either gets from the browser or you put it in yourself manually. You take that and you hard code that in. And then you say, here's the chosen URL. You're going to take what's in column A and the number of people you want to follow is in column C. Here. So if I wanted to, you see there's like a couple of different pages that I target here. So if I wanted to run 50 different pages, I could post them all here. If I wanted to do 50 different pages where I only wanted to follow 5 people from each page, each run, I could do that. So this saves me having to go in and set up a different phantom for each different page that I want to target. And I can control, if I think this is running too hot or I'm running out of credits, I can pull this back to 5 or 10, or I can go more. The recommendation is 40 at a time, but I'm running at 20. The other options here, whether to exclude private profiles or not, I don't do that. And then my minimum threshold, so there's a minimum threshold you can choose. If you only want to follow followers who have 100 followers themselves, you can put it in here, etc., etc. When that runs, I store the run ID or the container ID on the sheet as well. So you can see very recently, these two have run. This has been complete. And there's a reason that I store this ID. So what I like to do when I'm running this process is I also like to export who has been followed from these phantom runs. Okay. You'll see the sheet is blank here, but I'll go through a run now. So on this second scenario here, what I do is I look for, it's the same sheet, but I actually, I'm going to just put that back to 1. I'm looking for a different piece of data here, right? So I am looking for the run ID that we stored. So that is what's here. So I'm going to take that and use that as the input in this scenario. And what that will do is that gets the result and converts it into JSON, and then adds all the attributes to the follows sheet. So the profile name, the profile URL, how many followers, how many they're following, etc., and the time. So if I go, I just choose where to start from this and run it once. I'll row 1, run it once. What should happen in this live is this container ID. I should get the results from this container ID onto this sheet. That's the wrong scenario. Yes, so this one here. So you can see it's now adding data to the sheet. So new followers. We've now gotten all the data about the people that were followed in that recent run. I didn't follow them all, and you see I have a decline reason for some here. We didn't follow people who had no posts. Oh, no, you have to. So it got me 20 people as I asked for, and it didn't follow the people with no posts. So now I've got a setup where I can choose which pages I want to follow followers of, how many people, and it's automatically tracking the people that I have followed. I have a third scenario here, which adds new followers from my page to a separate sheet. And the reason I have that is I want to see how effective each of the pages that I am following followers of is. So this scenario, it uses, I like to use the Apify Actor Instagram followers scraper. And what that actor does is it basically scrapes all the followers of my page, but you can put in a cursor marker here so when I ran this first, I got the first 500 followers, and so you're basically telling it only get followers from this point. So it doesn't have to like run it for every single follower. It only runs it for new followers. So I just update this cursor every couple of hundred followers. And what that'll do is, so it runs the actor, just waits 2 minutes, gets the data set items, and so I'm kind of assuming that people know the basics of how to run actors on Apify here. It's not really Apify that I'm trying to explain, it's more the PhantomBuster process. But if anyone, I will make a separate video on Apify actors. And when you get all the data, basically what you store is username, the full name, the profile pic, etc., all these things, and the date. So what that looks like is, here's the output here. Now the common denominator here between the followers that you've just extracted and the new people you have followed is the username. So if we go back to the sheet, the new follows sheet, I've stored where I followed these people from in column K. So what that means is every time the sheet runs, you will know why these people have been followed. And these people have been followed because they follow Run Logic Ireland. So when that runs again, for the launch request, this element is stored. So if I go back here, and now I run this for a second time, we should see the new people are populating on the sheet, and they've been followed because they follow High Rocks Dublin. So what I can determine from this process is, okay, if I add them, or if I follow them, and I know the reason why I followed them, and then I can do a lookup between the username, I can know how effective the follow back strategy is at a page level. And I won't build a pivot table here, but I'll show you how this looks for another page that I've run this from. So the follow back rate is basically, you can easily just build a pivot table with a VLOOKUP, and at a page level, what's the follower and follow back rate? So you can easily just determine, okay, well, I know that my follow back rate at a page level is whatever. Okay, this one's 12%. These are really low. Now, not enough data, but this is how you would optimize this process. There's no point in following followers of a certain page if their follow back rate is really, really low. So this is how you optimize this process. And a good follow back rate is like 40 or 50%. And if you can get that through optimization here, you will save a lot of credits on PhantomBuster. So this is the process of knowing how to automate and optimize a follow back strategy.